So it is a beautiful Monday, the day after Gunks Not Dead. We didn't originally think we were going to come home until sometime today, but I didn't schedule anything for myself since we are home, and I decided I'm trying to get in a little bit of a makeup ride since I only got 8 miles into Gunks Not Dead. So I think we're going to try and find some single track and get a decent amount of miles today. I did have to put tubes into my bike because I barely rode this bike all winter, and I think I rode it once this year, and all the sealant was mostly dried up. So I don't know, let's see what happens. Also, my Wahoo won't work today. It won't get a signal from the GPS satellites. Reset it like 3 or 4 times and finally like, I just gotta ride my bike. I'm letting it run. It's just like burning through battery, trying to connect or something, I don't know. So hopefully this records on my phone. But I'm just so used to being able to see my numbers as I ride. You know, not watts or heartbeat or any of that, but just how far I've gone, what grades are, all that kind of stuff that I did. First climb of the day. Gotta do some climbing if I'm gonna compare this to Gunks at all, even though it is a road climb. They just posted that Hampton reopened today after the rains, so I'm gonna do a little underbiking. I don't think I've ridden my drop bar gravel bike on the mountain bike trails here for a couple of years. So I'm gonna let it a little air out of the tires, but I'm not gonna go too low because the tubes. So this is gonna be a bumpy ride, but you know what I said. We're all in the spirit of doing something a little out of the comfort zone. What is that, 35 maybe? Yeah. I had them overinflated too because I was getting the bead pop back on. I do not know what it is, but I have never successfully navigated the top of Hampton on my own. I always make a wrong turn, cut something off, or end up going the wrong way. If you're local, you could roast me for that, but I don't know what it is. Some kind of mental block, so let's see how it goes today. Horrible. Okay, made the first turn right. I know it's this way. This is gonna be rough here on this bike. Almost lost it there. Whoa, let's do. So I did it. I successfully navigated all the top of Hampton. Eating the Cliff Bar. I'm gonna head and do the big descent part now. I didn't hit anything hard. It's a little slick, and then again, like I said, skinny overinflated tires. So still fun. All right, let's see what this descent feels like being way up over the handlebars. Oh, that was wet. Well, it wasn't the Gunks Creek crossings that I saw footage of, but hey, at least I got a creek crossing in. Trail maintenance. All right, gonna wet my whistle before we climb single track up out of the valley. Still no wahoo, so we'll check the stats at the top. Hampton Hills done and dusted. 15 miles in. For some reason the auto pause screen on my phone does not show me the elevation, but I would guess 500 feet of climbing so far. But we'll see it all at the end. Anyways, on to the next couple challenges. Two hours in and the wahoo finally kicked on. Strange. It started acting up out at Gunks on my way back once I broke my hub, so I don't know. Hopefully whatever was wrong is worked out now. Time for a ripping road descent down into the Cuyahoga Valley and into Peninsula, and then I have something planned over there that should be challenging. Dude, this day is so perfect. And a little bit of green out there, a lot of flowering trees too. So, heck, it's not gonna make up for missing the ride I wanted to do, but it's a good excuse to spend all day out here riding. Some figs before we do the climb. I have all my ride snacks from Gunks because I never got the chance to eat any of them. Oh, the river is running today. So we're gonna climb up Old AP, an abandoned and washed out road. Probably one of the most challenging climbs in the valley, I would guess. So, yeah, perfect for today. Whew. That's become even more washed out and challenging since the last time I did it. But I made it. Whew. Obviously couldn't film too much because I needed my hands on the bars. Well, I didn't say anything on purpose because I didn't know if they'd be open. First time ever I'm doing the double. East Rim and Hampton in one day. Yes, we will be walking rock gardens on this bike. Now this feels like the East Coast. Those rocks I was missing. All right, loop one done. We're going to ride the next loop two. There's two sections of East Rim. I can't remember which one's more difficult. There are a lot of rock gardens on that one. Have to walk them for me. There's plenty of people who could ride them, but they're tough on a gravel bike. East Rim, done and dusted. That second loop is so much more fun than the first loop. It's longer, it's flowier, and if I had the rock gardens memorized, I'd actually be able to ride them even on this probably. Anyways, we're gonna head back towards home down the hiking bike and decide what our next adventure is. So we're about 34 miles in. I think it's about 10 miles back to the studio. I think I'm gonna go there, eat something. I didn't bring other GoPro batteries, which normally wouldn't be a problem for a day out, but I have one faulty one, and now I know it's this one. I always bring backups, but whatever, I forgot this time. So, yeah, give Edmund a pet, get a battery, eat some food, head back out. Had the opposite experience today with my gravel bike too. A mountain biker looked at it and said, that's probably fun to ride here, or at least climb up out on. So yeah, the opposite of getting, you're gonna ride that, gravel grinding. Fresh GoPro battery, filled water bottles, quick snack, gave Edmund some pets. Now we're gonna do a little towpath and then a gravel loop. I think we need to get a little dirtier if this is gonna be what I need it to be. Legs are already tired, but it's just like 45 more minutes or an hour or something. Oh yeah, I think I'm just over 45 miles now too. I checked when I stopped home and I can't remember. Wahoo has 34, but no, that's not accurate. Of course I run into Ben, so he was about the same amount of mileage in as I was, 50 some miles. So I had a beer at the beer bird, split it with him. Now we're gonna go hit the other section of gravel. So I'm guessing Gunks had a decent amount more climbing than this ride. We'll see at the end when I look at my phone. But one of the things I did to kind of even the playing field, I've been pedaling pretty good on the flats. So moving along, also less breaks than I would have taken on that ride, as we would have been hanging out with more friends and all that. But yeah, not the same place. But I do feel like I went out and did a tough ride. That was fun at home to kind of make up for it. And I probably wouldn't have done that today if I hadn't missed out on all the fun in New York. Oh yeah, this is looking pretty. I'm actually kind of bonking, but I'm only probably a mile and a half down residential streets from the studio, so we're gonna push on. Trying to finish strong, but I have that where just the absolute appetite and hunger to just feel like you just want to stuff your face with whatever you can put your hands on. I haven't lost all my energy, but I just went so hungry all of a sudden. Yo, Future Tim here. Really glad I got that ride in when I did, because the weather has not been as nice since then. I was really cooked when I got back from that ride, so I never recorded an outro. It ended up being 67 miles and about 3,400 feet of elevation. Anyways, thanks as always for watching. That was a great ride. I'm glad I got out and did it. If you want to support the channel, consider checking out our little store below. Got some new Edmund stickers in there, and now all the stickers are printed locally by Canopy Press in Cleveland, so you're supporting 2 small businesses. Thanks as always for watching. Peace.